Why did Puff fly Gene Deal to California when Biggie was there the night he got shot? What was his role? What was his responsibility? What was his job title? He was security. He was bodyguard. He claims he has law enforcement background. Common sense should have told him that if you get 2 calls saying they're going to get hit that night, it is your responsibility to alert law enforcement first and foremost before you ever tell Puff or Biggie. What was his role? What was his purpose? He was there for security. That means Puff hired him to do security. You're in California. He says he got the 2 calls that said they were going to get hit that night. A man from prison, Unique, considered the threat so serious, he found a way to get a message to Puff Security to say vest up. And this negligent, incompetent ass person didn't go to the local sheriffs. He didn't go to the state police, the city police, the county police to say, look, we need, I've gotten intel on 2 serious threats. Here's the history that goes on between these individuals. This is a high alert situation. I need vests for my crew, and I need a police escort to and from the venue, and I need police officers inside the museum and outside the museum. He was supposed to do that before he ever contacted Biggie or Puff. You hear the threat. You have knowledge of the threat. You took the threat serious. As security, it is your responsibility to protect who you're there to protect. You don't need Puff's permission. And bringing more people from New York out to California who have the same level of training that Gene Deal has just means more people would have got shot. They didn't need more bodies. They needed professionals from that city to be in the museum, outside of the museum, a police escort to and from the venue, and for the sheriffs to provide them with vests to have on as they moved around. And local police would have been happy to accommodate him, given the high-profile presence of Biggie and Sean Combs. This guy is a complete fucking idiot, and he's responsible for Biggie's death. He was an accessory to the crime. He aided and abetted by not doing anything to protect his client. Puff didn't bring Gene Deal out to California for a vacation. He was working. He was working a security detail, a bodyguard detail. And your role as security is to protect your client. And the client was Puff because that's who was paying him. So when he got calls that said they were going to hit them that night, he had an obligation to do his fucking job. As security, he was supposed to do reconnaissance. That means you go to the museum, you see where the weak spots, all entrances, all exits. You're supposed to know the nearest hospital, the nearest fire department, the nearest police station. You walk around the grounds and see, okay, if we sit here, this is a potential threat. If we go here, this is a potential threat. That's called doing reconnaissance. You call the police in that area. You let them know that you had threats. You have 2 high-profile people. You need vests for them. You need police officers inside the venue, outside the venue, and you require a police escort to and from the event. He did none of the above, which means he was subordinate in his duties. He was negligent, he was incompetent, and yes, his failure to do his job as security resulted in Big's death. There was no reason for them to drive 30 minutes to find a hospital when he as he said, I found out later a hospital was 2 minutes away. You were supposed to find that out beforehand, you idiot. The security around Trump went to the venue before the rally to see where the dead spots were, to see where the potential threats could possibly be. After gunfire was in the rally, Trump didn't stop his tours. He went to the hospital and went right to the next rally. You don't stop what you're doing because of a threat. Your security is supposed to put things in place to make sure they nullify the threat. This idiot said, I thought Puff shouldn't even go to the museum. I told him the threat so he could cancel the event. That's not your role as security. Your role is to allow your client to be able to fulfill their duties as you protect them. So first and foremost, you were supposed to call the police, get vests, get a police escort to and from the venue, make sure police officers were inside and outside, and then go to the venue and do reconnaissance to find out how close a hospital was, the nearest hospital, the nearest police, and the nearest fire department. All of that is in your job description as security. What did you do? Sit in the fucking hotel room and order BLTs and watch TV? You're paid to protect your client. And whatever you were paid, you're supposed to do your duty at the highest level.
Big is still alive. Wasn't thinking. Right through the driveway, it was ambulance, cops, and the fire department. Somebody called 911. They calling 911. Why didn't they respond? They right through the driveway. They right through the driveway. Nobody responds. So I'm not thinking like, yo, stupid ass, go across and get the police. Go across and get the ambulance people. I wasn't thinking like that. I'm thinking like, and we come to find out that the hospital was only 2 blocks away. Kenny took us to a hospital that was 30 minutes away.
Get out of here. 30 minutes away.
30 minutes away. So then Kenny said, yeah, I know where the hospital at. Somebody told me it was a hospital 2 blocks away from the Peterson Museum.